Now, let's see, what else do we want to do? In the audience, oh, by the way, tonight's show, you know, the Today Show is in China all week.
Yeah.
And the NBC Nightly News is coming to you from China. This show also is originating tonight from China. So we just hope you enjoy it.
That's wonderful. Just remember, when you read those cards, read from top to bottom.
That's right. That's right. And it's crazy here because you leave your shoes out at night to have them shine if we're in the morning, and you never see them again.
Never see them again. Chinese rim shot.
Yeah, in lieu of actual material, we just have plenty of sound effects. That's... and I don't normally introduce people in the studio audience because normally there is no one in the studio audience. But tonight, I believe this is this gentleman's second visit to our show. The chairman, Paul, not an underling, not an assistant,
no,
not an attaché,
no, sir,
not an undersecretary,
no,
the chairman,
the actual chairman,
exactly, of the Federal Communications Commission. Dennis Patrick is here. Is Mr. Patrick, Commissioner Patrick, up there? Nice to see you. How do we know that's really the guy?
He looks a little young for the
Yeah, he really
job,
does.
Doesn't he?
I have a question for you relating to the FCC and television in general. You know the NBC show Valerie?
Yes.
It's called Valerie?
Sure.
Well, Valerie Harper is no longer the star of the damn show. So don't you think they ought to be forced to change the name?
We're going to look into that, David.
By God, he's going to look into that, Paul. This is like the time Ed Koch shows up at Yankee Stadium to watch us play softball.
That's right.
He may have a little too much free time, the commissioner here.
Maybe he's here for a reason. Maybe he's here to. You never know.
Ooh, the Grim Reaper. He's here.
I don't know.
Are all of our permits up to date and everything? Our first guest tonight has, listen to this now, has been on 2 of the most successful situation comedies in the history of television. First, of course, there was the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and then after that, or I guess simultaneously with that, there was Rhoda, and she was briefly the star of Valerie, and now she has a brand new show called City. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Valerie Harper. It's Valerie Harper. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
So you had this one show, this Valerie show on NBC, and then there was trouble.
Right.
So you weren't on the Valerie show anymore.
Wrongfully fired, and I might add, at a time before the court case, and everybody saw that I was telling the truth, and that I was fired, and I won a big settlement, etc.
Oh, how big was the settlement?
Big.
Really?
And to be bigger. More, I think, because of if it sells to syndication. But you, on this show, gave me such comfort late at night, taking polls of the audience. It's the woman's name. Shouldn't she, if she leaves the show, if she's fired, shouldn't she take her name? And the FCC commissioner was here one night, and you forced the man to agree with you.
Oh, I remember that.
So, I can't tell you, David, it was great.
Yeah.
Bravo for DL.
So I get a piece
sweet.
of that settlement, is what you're saying.
Yeah. We should look into that. You should certainly warn
But that
the
was the deal. That was, I don't know what the issue was, but the reason I felt so strongly about it, when I first started this show, there was talk of firing me, too, because they thought I was stealing things up in the office.
Oh, I see. Did they have just cause for that?
But then it was, the show was originally Valerie. That was the name of the show.
Right.
And then you left for whatever reason.
Right.
And then they had Sandy Duncan come in.
I was fired.
You were fired.
For whatever their reason.
Okay.
And then they had Sandy Duncan come in and they
But they still wanted to call it Valerie.
Yes, yes. And we went to court. And there was a preliminary injunction, and it started to seem to go in our direction. At that time, someone, the attorney for NBC said, look, if Miss Harper would allow us to keep the name Valerie, you know, Valerie's family, so that so the viewers could find the show.
Yeah.
They would be willing to do what they call, euphemistically, David, it's called rent a judge. It's shared court maintenance cost or something.
Okay.
But both sides pay.
Yeah.
That meant my case would come to court very quickly, and it did in 1 year instead of waiting the 5 years that you usually need to. So it was in to our advantage to do that. And then as soon as the time was up and I won the case, then it became the Hogan family.
Now, who the hell are the Hogans? Were there Hogans when you were on the show?
Yes. My name was Valerie Hogan.
Oh, you were Valerie Hogan, I see.
And there was Michael Hogan, my husband, who kept taking off
now,
from the airplane.
How did they write you out in the show?
They killed me in a car crash.
Wow.
However, wow.
Now, this is a situation comedy?
Yes.
Kids, mom's dead.
I know. You know, I wonder how they were able to do that. I really thought that, because a lot of kids did watch the show. That was often a question.
Now, is that show doing well without you now? Is it doing okay?
It's doing fine. When I was on the show, the last few times, the last few shows were in the top 10 a couple of times, in the top 20, because we were after Alf. Alf was a great lead-in.
Yeah.
I know, but that's the way it goes.
I know exactly the way it goes, of course.
That's why I'm happy.
So, but you know, at the time all of this was going on, everybody was saying, well, it should be Sandy. Call the show Sandy because it's Sandy Duncan.
Yeah, but they needed to have viewer recognizability and a huge.
Now, is Sandy a Hogan?
She is she's the sister of Michael, so she's an aunt.
So she's not a Hogan. Oh, she is a Hogan.
She's a Hogan.
By marriage.
Well, she was married and is divorced, but her maiden name was Hogan, so she's a Hogan. It's a Hogan family. And I had a ton of friends on that show, David. So I really didn't have an investment in seeing it sink. I didn't want to do that. Now that they're opposite us,
so now that's what I'm getting to. Now you have your brand new show on CBS, which is called City.
City,
now, you're not a Hogan on this show.
No, I am a Gianni.
You're a Gianni.
But I'm formerly a Dugan.
Oh, okay. Now, so you're going head-to-head with your old show.
That's true.
Yeah, now, is that
It's weird. It's weird because
I
have emotional investment. Like Jason, I'm glad he's been able to work all this time in that show.
Jason is
Bateman,
Jason
who plays.
Bateman.
He's a doll. He's a sweetheart, and the lady, you know, the wardrobe woman. It's like you have a relationship with Candy, my makeup people, and I didn't mean it that way. Come on. So she's great. She did me in she's
Candy,
in 2 minutes.
Candy is our makeup artist.
Yeah.
Candy is our.
I didn't mean it that way. I just said her name because she's so good.
The audience is getting ugly over this.
I know they are. Well, she's very pretty and blonde.
Yeah, she's a lovely woman.
Yeah,
Candy.
but the point is you employ people that you work with that you don't want their jobs to end.
understand.
So that was the deal. Also, the girl that plays Penny on the new show City is the real-life sister of Danny Ponce. Her name's Luann Ponce. She plays my 19-year-old daughter on the new show. Her brother was my son, one of the twins. Yes!
Man alive.
Valerie. I know. It's
now tell me about the new show. It's City, and it's you play City Council. What do they call them?
You're City Manager.
You're the city manager.
It's not an elected post, David. It's a person who has to order the garbage trucks, the gas.
You implement everything that needs to be done.
The budget concerns of the city across her desk, and she
what city is this?
It's every city. It's not any particular city. It could be a city in Indiana. But they're looking at like kind of Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Kind of a solid Midwestern blue-collar town?
Kind of, I guess. More east than west, more north than south. And New Yorkers claim that it's New York. They said, I know that skyline. I said, the skyline they're using is Cleveland, L.A., and one other city that I don't know what it is.
You know, I got a great idea for both your show and the Sandy Duncan show. If something happens, there's a fire or something blows up in the house, and they have to move, and they move into your town. Would that be anything?
Hey, listen, it's show business, it's TV. It can work. I've worked on worse ideas.
Good. Now...
Or I've been given scripts that were much worse than that.
Anyway, it's just you're one of those people in television who people like so well that you have a really successful, long-running career, and I hope it continues.
I hope so, too.
Great.
From your lips to God's ears.
Thank you for being here. Nice to see you.
It's my pleasure.